and welcome back to Let's Get Real with Jill. And this is the second series of the live video podcast. And welcome back, Ms. Taylor Hall.
Hi.
Hi, thank you.
Yes.
So part two, here's what we're going to be talking about today with Ms. Taylor. We're going to be talking about car racing is really a male-dominant sport. Number two is we want to know and understand about the family history of your background of car racing. And then number three, I really want to know about what's up with number 56. Okay? So let's go ahead and get started with part two. Thank you. Thanks for coming back.
Of course.
Yeah.
I'm glad to be here.
Sorry I'm in the same outfit. But okay, so let's just start with, this is a male-dominated course. And in the first segment, you even said to your dad, you were looking around and going, oh no, I got this.
Yeah.
Against the males that were already there. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so I went into it knowing that all guys race. Like, I really didn't know any girls that raced. Mm-hmm. And so I always was like, oh yeah, I can kick those boys' butts. No big deal, right? Yeah. So I knew, like I said, I knew it was a male-dominated sport, but I didn't realize how male-dominated it was.
Oh.
So, like, when I was racing outlaw karts, there was probably 2 other girls that were racing. And there's, 150 plus cars each night that are there. And there was only 2 other girls there. Yeah.
Okay.
And they were either really young or maybe older or something like that. So it's really crazy to think about because, having that many guys around and you being like one of the only girls. I mean, they obviously, they try not to like make it like bad, but like obviously they don't want to get beat by a girl. Right. So they race you a lot harder and a lot stronger. Yeah, just because.
Well, yeah, I get that.
Yeah, and I do too. Like, and I feel like getting beat by a girl would be like,
right. And then you're like, I'm going to beat a guy.
Totally.
Yeah.
Like,
so
I'll beat you all. Like, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, there is what it is. But yeah, so like that's very big role. So like when you get to the higher levels too, like there's no girls like winning or anything like that. I mean, there is occasionally like Kaylee Bryson, who's one of like the main girls that's really
cool.
like really good.
Yeah.
She ended up just winning one of like the biggest races around this year.
Wow. And
so it was
she?
super cool. She's 20, I want to say like 23, 24.
Okay.
So she's a little bit older than me, but yeah, and she's been doing it for a while, but she finally got that, scratch for women.
Good
and I think it's really cool because
that.
like I have really big aspirations and dreams for like racing in general. Like not even just being a girl, They always talk about, I want to be the first female. But like I'm like, no, I want to be the first to be able to do that. Like even without the label of being a girl.
Okay, you just want to be the first. Right.
Yeah,
right.
Like I think it's super cool. Like I mean, it's obviously
like
it's a cool to be like a chick and be able to do this, and like
it's a cool thing.
Yeah. But definitely want to make my own name for myself.
So you knew it was male dominating, but you really didn't know how male dominating.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That's kind of scary, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there really isn't like a lot of girls at all like around or anything. I mean, like the moms and stuff like that, and maybe sisters. So yeah. So I kind of just hung out with my dad and I mean friends of course with some of the guys and everything, but.
So there's some history here, family history.
Yes.
It's in your blood.
Yes,
Tell us about how did that all come about?
Yeah, they always say it's in your blood, and it really is.
Okay. Because you even mentioned your Uncle Jimmy who has his racetrack.
Yeah, so
that's crazy.
So my Uncle Jimmy and my Uncle Tim Green, they're both in the National Hall of Fame for sprint car racing. So
that's a big deal.
They're like big time, and they traveled around the whole country. Actually, other countries went to New Zealand and raced, and Australia, and won championships out there. They're really big names around motorsports. So it's my dad's uncle, and then my dad's other uncle. So they're both Tim Green and Jimmy Sills.
Okay.
Hi, puppy. And so. They're both really great people and have definitely supported me throughout my career and like always trying to help as much as possible. Like whenever I'm on the road out like in the Midwest, I'm always calling my Uncle Tim saying, okay, this is what happened. Like, what do I need to do? Like, I need help with the car, like stuff like that. And they're always very supportive and helpful.
They must be so excited.
Yes, because I'm the only one that's still racing. So their grandkids didn't end up deciding to race. Well, actually my Uncle Tim, his 2 grandsons, they both just started racing. So they're racing the little cars right now, which are called box
Are they
cars.
younger then?
Yes.
Okay.
They're like, I want to say 6 and 8.
Okay, they are young.
Yeah, so they're really young.
Oh, he must be excited that his boys are doing
that.
Those
boys are doing that, and they're doing really, really well, which is super exciting. But they live in Idaho, so they come out here and race sometimes, and they race up there. But yeah, so he's always been really supportive. They both have. And my Uncle Jimmy Sills has a track at his house. And so when I was first starting, I go over there all the time and practice because, it's right there.
Right.
So, and it's only about 30 minutes
from
my house, so it's perfect.
And Are you the first girl then?
Yes.
The first female in your family?
Yes. And there's more to it too, like my great-great-grandpa raced and everything like that. But we didn't really know necessarily the history of it because it was so long ago. I mean, we find pictures in like newspapers and stuff like that all the time of them. Yeah, so that's cool. But yeah, so they're very supportive because, like I said, I'm the really only one other than his grandkids that just started racing. And my dad also raced too. So my dad raced all up and down California from pretty much my whole entire childhood until about 4 or 5 years ago.
But to be able to pick up the phone and have these conversations about the race or what you experienced, and they can totally relate and understand, give advice. If they give you advice, are you open to listening?
Oh my gosh, yes. Those are the two that I mainly listen to advice from. Like those are my two like idols pretty much that I always look up to, is because I know that they've felt and they've done everything that I have too. So they understand what I feel and what I'm going through.
Right.
So it's pretty cool. And they're always supportive, like make sure that like they always pick up the phone for me and make sure that like I'm good, and they always help me with the car, like if I'm like, yeah, like I'm feeling this, like what do I need to do? They're always like, oh, this is what you need to do, like this will help this and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I have a better understanding of the cars and what they're doing.
And they are in the Sprint Car
National
Hall of Fame.
Yes.
Holy
Which is crazy,
That is.
I mean, that's totally a dream. Like being a sprint car.
And
like,
you can just call them.
Yeah, I can. I'm like, hey, how's it going? Like, I got to talk to you about some stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, and anytime, and they're always,
You have a great support group.
Yes,
you really do.
Yes,
Taylor.
and I'm very, very thankful for those two, especially because they just know racing. Like, and even my dad knows a lot too.
Oh,
and
yeah.
So he's so helpful. Always having him with me because I always can just be like, hey, this is doing this. Like, what should I do? Stuff like that.
So how often do you still go to your Uncle Jimmy's racetrack?
Not as much, but I do occasionally because we have yard carts, they're called. So they have like a little Predator motor on them and like a lawnmower motor. And we have little carts and we just race them around his track, like all of his buddies and stuff. Yeah, so it's super cool and super fun.
I want to do a field trip then.
Yeah, I feel like you should.
Your mom and I.
Yes. Mom's gotten one time. Yes.
Oh, did she? Okay.
I mean, she did good, but she was like just putting around and I was like going past her and I was like moving her out of the way. And it was so funny. Yeah.
And I think I want your mom and I to have a really cute fire suit.
Yes. I think you guys need new fire suits. You need to show
We'll get sponsors.
And the fire suits.
All right, so tell me about number 56.
So this really means a lot to me. So
one
of my dad's really, really good friends was killed in a race car. And his number was 56. Well, my dad from there on out ran his number. They did a memorial actually. And my dad put his number on and for the memorial and it never left. Like he ran that race and it was like, wow, my dad finally had like a really good night and he was like, I think this 56 is meant to be. So from my dad and that, obviously, it just felt like 56 was home. And like that's where I needed to be pretty much. So I've kept the number 56, but when I go race in the Midwest and like race other people's cars, it won't be 56.
It'll be their car number. Because I did not know this at all about the number 56. So it's definitely a heartfelt number.
Yeah.
Wow,
yeah.
Taylor.
But yeah, so that's really like important to me, like always like supporting, because it's a real thing. Like unfortunately, like your safety equipment needs to be top tier in the race cars just because of all the chaotic things that goes into it. So like next 2 weeks, I fly out to Indiana to get a seat insert in the seat that I wear that's form fitted to me, so I fit perfect in the car.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so that's kind of cool.
Okay, so it's a seat insert.
Yes. So like we have those big enclosed seats. They're called Ultra Shield seats if you want to look them up. And then they do like a pour into a bag, and then you sit in it, and then it form fits to you, and then they pull the like foam kind of stuff out of the bag and put it in the seat, and then you sit. And it form fits to your whole entire body.
So, do you travel with it?
Yes, yes. So it does. Yeah. So like when
you have this, and then your seat.
Yeah, pretty much. So I have my big old gear bag. I wish I would have brought it in. I didn't think about it. I have a big old gear bag that I bring with me, and then in my seat. So I saran wrap it all the way down. Yeah. So right now I have a seat in Oklahoma that stays in Oklahoma.
Okay.
I have one here, and then I have one in Indiana. That's the one that I'm going to get right now.
Oh, okay.
So I have them spread out just so that, like, whenever.
That's so much
So if I get a
easier.
call, I can be like, oh, yep, on my way. Like, I already
Yes.
have it. Yeah.
Except those are expensive too, I'm sure.
Very expensive.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you have.
So, yes.
I've
so-
never heard of that, but
Yeah.
I'm new to this new
Yes.
racing thing.
Yeah.
Okay. So you have a seat. So at least you're going to have 3 then.
Yes.
Are they
so
in
I have
storage?
seats.
Somebody's house? Or?
Yeah, they're at one of my buddy's houses, actually in their race shop, and then one's
Okay.
at my dad's house, and then the other one is at the seat insert place, ready for me to get fitted, pretty much. So.
But then what if you're still growing?
I'm not still growing.
Okay.
I'm still grown, unfortunately.
You can grow through until you're 25, but I guess that's a good problem to have.
Yes,
and then
so
you just
in
get a new
racing,
seat.
and in racing, it's really good because you want to be on the shorter side, just because the safety. So just so everybody knows, I'm 5 foot. Okay. I'm not planning on growing anymore. Like I'm pretty much full grown. So I haven't grown since like 8th grade.
Oh, seriously?
So.
Okay. So now you don't have to worry about so much about the finances for the new seat.
Yes. Like once I have like all the stuff that I need, I should be good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this: before each race, do you say like, what is your routine? What is that routine?
I don't really have like necessarily like, you know, some people have like superstitions and stuff like that. I'm not really like that kind of person, but like I always, you know, put my fire suit on, everything, and then right before I go out I pray, like right before, like when I'm in staging, it's called, it's like when I'm lining up to get ready.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but other than that, not really.
Wow.
Like some people like have to put their left sock on right first or right sock on. I'm like, who cares? They're just socks. They're not
all
gonna
have
do
our
anything.
stuff.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah, totally. But yeah.
So anything that you want to finish up with, or
I'm trying to think. I think that's everything. I mean, I'm
Okay.
just glad that we got to do this.
Yeah.
Such a fun time with you.
and you just have great energy, Taylor. You do.
I
You can
appreciate
tell
that.
you have a great heart and energy for life. Like you're enjoying your life.
Yes,
Yeah.
living it to the fullest.
Yes, I love it.
Yeah.
All right, you guys, thank you so much for joining part 2 of the series with Taylor Hall, what would we call you?
Race car driver?
Yeah. Race car driver in a man-dominated sport. So thank you so much for sharing, because I think these last 3 topics that we just talked about, and then the seat, are all very important, because that's kind of your own story too, of those 3 things. So thank you guys very much. Thank you, Taylor, for joining. You guys have a blessed day, and remember, be kind to somebody, because your smile can make a difference in somebody else's life, and their smile back at you can make a difference in your life, just like Taylor has made a difference in my life. Thank you.